Today's episode is brought to you by HydroJug, hydration made easy. Listen, you know that I'm always talking about all of the easy ways that you can live your best and most positive life, and getting in your water is at the very top of my list. Get yours today by going to thehydrojug.com and using the code POSITIVELYYOU for 10% off so you can start hydrating in style. Welcome to the Positively You podcast. I'm your host, Jessie Larson, and I'm passionate about helping you shift the way you think so you can create a life you're absolutely obsessed with. Each week, I'll be bringing you a guest or a thought that's going to help you feel more optimistic and equipped to take real action. Get ready to push past limiting beliefs, ditch that negativity, and start showing up as the best and most positive version of you. Girl, let's do this. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Positively You podcast. I'm Jessie, and holy cow, am I so thrilled to be behind the microphone today and recording an episode for you. Today it was exciting. I got to teach a class all about mindset. I was totally in my element and just like solidifying again that I'm doing the thing that I want to do, that I'm making the difference that I was put here to make. And it is just so much fun to be able to feel so aligned in what you're doing and so lit up about things that not fall in your lap, because they don't fall in your lap, but when you start putting things out there that you want to do, the moves that get made and the doors that get open. And anyway, I'm just really excited today. So that's where I'm at. I hope that your day is fabulous. And if it's not, then I hope that by the end of listening to this episode and hanging out with me for a little bit, that your day is a little bit brighter and you can turn it around and make it the best day that you can be for you. So with that, it leads me directly into what I want to talk to you about today, and that is mindset. So like I said, I taught a class earlier today on mindset, and it was kind of about setting yourself up for success. And I won't go into the whole thing because it was a class, that people were in, but I did want to pull something from it. And it's talking about some of the elements that I think are key in creating a mindset that just rocks, that is just so amazing and what you want. And so I have kind of identified 4 main things that I think help me to have a really kick-ass mindset and will help you to have a really awesome mindset as well. And in true Jessie form, I love a good alliteration. I love a good analogy, like anything I can pull in. And so, of course, these 4 elements are the 4 P's to an awesome mindset. So let's just hop right into it. Let's figure out, what is the first P? The first P is proactive. And that is important in your mindset because so often we live in such a reactionary state. We are responding to all of the stimuli around us. We are living in a state of like, well, the circumstances are this, and this is how I react, and this is how I respond. And we're always playing on the defense. But if we can kind of shift out of that defense and shift out of like waiting to respond until something happens to us and totally move into and own being proactive, like, holy cow, that alone is a game changer. And I don't even need to give you the other 4 P's, because that alone, being proactive, will make such a huge difference. So what are the ways that you can be proactive? It's like, okay, Jess, that's great. Cool. I'll be proactive. How do I do that? Of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging. All right, so with being proactive, a lot of it has to do with knowing what are the things that are going to trip you up, right? It's like I'm going to hit you up with another analogy. If you're getting in the car and you're headed to a destination and you know that there is a road that has a lot of summer construction going on, right? that road can still get you to your destination, but it's probably going to be a lot more frustrating because you've got roadblocks, you've got detours, you've got delays. All of these things are going to be standing in your way of getting you to that destination. So you can instead know that those things are there, that those things are the common things that trip you up with your mindset, right? It might be things that you do to self-sabotage. It might be comparison traps. It could be imposter syndrome, or, feeling FOMO, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy. Any of these things that trip you up from feeling your best, those are these roadblocks and these detours and these delays that get in the way of your destination. But if you know that about yourself, then you can go ahead and be proactive. Instead of hopping in the car and just taking that highway and being like, well, this is how it is, it's just going to be a crappy ride there, you can instead get on your phone, hit up the Maps app, find a different route to go, and then you've been proactive. You know, these things trip me up, but I'm going to go ahead and choose this route instead. I'm going to go ahead and be proactive about where I'm headed and how I'm going to get there. That is kind of what I mean about being proactive. It's actively choosing the way that you can get to that destination that you want, whatever that is, right? Whatever thing that you're working on in your life right now, that you need a positive mindset, whether it's just overall, whether it's a goal you've got, or, you want to improve friendships or marriage or your relationship with your kids or eat healthy or anything, right? You figure out those roadblocks and then you proactively figure out a way to have an easier path there. That's going to help you so much with having a mindset that helps you, and that helps you just elevate your life as a whole. So, number one, be proactive. Life is going to happen all around you. There's going to be circumstances out of your control, for sure. And you can stay in reactionary if you want. You can stay in response. But I promise you, if you move in and you be more proactive, game changer. Game changer. All right, let's move on to number 2 is positive. Dun, dun, dun. You're like, wow, Jessie, that's groundbreaking. Having a positive mindset. Thank you for solving all the world's problems. Totally being sarcastic here, right? But what I mean by that, by positive as an element of a mindset that's going to help you, is using that as a benchmark to shift the language that you're using. Whether or not that language is actually coming out of your mouth as real words, or if it's just the language that is floating around constantly as the words in your head, if you can shift all of that just 1% more positive, 5% more positive, it does not have to be a complete 180 for you. But if it can just be little tiny shifts here and there, where instead of being like, I don't know, say you're scrolling social media and you see someone doing something awesome and it triggers some sort of jealousy or envy in you, all right? I'm pretty sure that's a situation that all of us have been in at some point or another, whether or not we want to own up to that right now or not. And instead of being like, oh, that's or whatever, you can positively be like, wow, that's really cool. Just like little things where you've got a more positive thought process going on in your head, where you're being more intentional about letting those negative thoughts stay there. Like, they can come in, they can be there for sure, but you're choosing to be like, actually, this sounds better, So, all right, we've got number 1 element to a mindset that rocks is proactive. Number 2 is positive, shifting your language to be just 1% more positive if you can manage that. 1%, 5%, whatever feels good to you. All right, number 3, and this one happens to be one of my favorites. It's one of my daily affirmations and one of my mantras that I say all the time. This third one, the third P, is problem solving. Anyone can pick out a problem. Anyone can sit there and point them out. That's problem. That's problem. There's a problem over there. There's probably a problem coming back from over here, right? Like, it's real easy to point out problems. And then it's really easy to just have that knot in your stomach kind of get there and well up and have anxiety and then spiral out of control with everything that could go wrong with every possible problem ever. It takes someone else to solve those problems, right? So if you can shift more into a problem solver mentality than a problem finder or a victim or a why me or why does this always happen, I mean, I say game changer. All of these are game changers for you. It's why they're part of the elements that give you a mindset to help you. But really, if you can own up and really put on that, I'm a problem solver, there's a solution to this, like the world opens up. It just does. It no longer feels, it can still feel scary. It can still feel like the sky is falling for sure. But the sky is falling and you say, I've got an umbrella, right? Like, that's okay. I'm a problem solver. And if I don't have an umbrella, it's like I can find out where to get one. Like, weird analogy I'm pulling out from there. But having that mindset for me where I am a problem solver has helped me to de-escalate crisis. When I feel like the literal sky is falling or the ground is falling out from under me and I want to just sit in my shower and yell and cry and scream and throw up because I don't know what to do, I do those things for sure. Like, I don't want you for a second to think that I'm just like little Miss Pollyanna over here solving all the problems all the time with a smile on my face, because that's so incredibly far from the truth. But after I do that, after I get my scream out, after I wipe some tears away, I take a big deep breath and I say, I am a problem solver. And the solution might not be obvious. It might not be right in front of me. It might be a 10-step, a 12-step, a 20-step solution. And it might be real creative and we're going to jimmy rig this like MacGyver or whatever. But I can solve this. I'm a problem solver. And then you take another big deep breath and you pick yourself up off the shower floor and you go and you figure it out. And you take on those other P's that we've talked about. You take on being proactive. You take on shifting some of those thoughts that are in your head and you be 1% more positive about it. You change a word from hard to this is going to make me stronger. You just do the little tiny things that move that needle just 1 degree, 1%. It's the little things that make the difference, not the big 180s. And so this one, I cannot preach problem solver enough. Like, this one has legit changed my life. This and making my bed every day. Saying I make my bed every day and I'm a problem solver. And that sounds so incredibly like stupid, but I promise you those two things have changed my life so much. And that's why I am preaching them to you today here from my microphone in my corner of my little room. So we are down to the last and final P of the 4 Ps for a mindset that just rocks your socks. I don't know what we're going to even call this. Mindset that kicks ass, rocks your socks, is amazingness. We'll come up with something really cool. But the last one is powerful. Knowing how flippin' powerful your mindset is. I was actually sitting at my kids' jiu-jitsu today. And if you follow my stories, and then if you're listening to this the next day, you will know that this episode is incredibly last minute. But I was sitting there today and I heard a life lesson as he was teaching my kids kind of a chokehold or something else to kind of get out. And he said, if you control the head, you control it all. Doesn't matter if everything else in this match is going crappy. You gain control of the head and you've won. You've got it. You're here. And I kind of looked up and I was like, dang, dropping some wisdom here. Because for reals, if you own and control your head, your brain, your mind, your thoughts, the stuff that is inside there, it's over. Game over. You and your thoughts are so dang powerful. So incredibly powerful, in fact, that if they're negative, like, that's real crappy because they're powerful in a negative way and they're going to drag you down and you're going to stay stuck and it's going to feel dark and it's going to feel awful. But knowing that you've got the power to go ahead and shift that. And like I said, even if it's not a 180, even if it's not you pick yourself up from crying and screaming on the bathroom floor You're not going to run outside with a smile on your face and be like, I love the world. No. But you're going to stand up and you're going to wipe the running mascara off your freaking face. And you're going to look yourself in the mirror and you're going to say, I am powerful. And you might not believe it. And that's fine. You don't have to believe it. But there's a tiny little spark inside of you that does. That is going to cling to that little thing and say, okay, we're going to do this. Those are the 4 P's of a powerful, awesome mindset. I will go over them again. Proactive, positive, problem solving, and powerful. Thank you so much for being here, and let me know if one or all or what one kind of like was the light bulb moment for you. Screenshot this, tag me, post it, share it. Let me know how this has either affected you or helped you, or if you liked it. And if you didn't, just go along on your merry little way and have a great day. But for reals, thanks for being here so much. Have a good day, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. I'm so glad you pressed play. If you want to take a quick second to share this episode with someone you think would love it too, that would be amazing. If you're loving the show, make sure you go and leave a review on iTunes. Reviews are like magic for podcasts, and your review will help get this show into the ears of more amazing women just like you. And come find me over on Instagram. I'm there at positively.jessie, and I cannot wait to hang out with you some more. So until next time, have an amazing week.